Hello and welcome to my Stamina Dragonknight PvP build. I'm gonna show you what I choose now after Slam got a damage nerf. While Slam build or the build I uploaded for Power Slam is still viable, I just went back to my old deep slash setup because it may be not, it probably not the strongest setup, but it just gives you like those old school vibes, and I wanted to share the setups I'm using. So quick look into the character screen. I'm Imperial. I like Imperial for the sustain you get, because that setup is kind of sustain heavy with all the bash cancelling you're gonna do. So Imperial here is my to-go choice. I have all points into stamina and still reach close to 32k health. We have 29k stamina and 15k magicka. Then we are running the warrior just to get some more damage. You can, if you need more sustain, you can also go with the serpent without losing like a lot of damage. Buff food is Osauga Smoke Beer Haunch for the maximum health and the regen. We get magic and stamina regen, really important on DK as well. And we have stage 3 vampire, obviously for the Undeath passive, making us super tanky when we are low HP. Front bar, we are using double dot poisons to help our pressure, and potions we are using either the essence of health, which is health, stamina and physical resistance, if you can sustain it. Otherwise you just go with normal tripods, or if you're rich you go with the heroism ones, making you able to spam corrosive armor a lot. Here we get magicka, stamina and minor heroism. Coming to the armor sets, obviously on DK you want to run Bloodspawn. I really like Bloodspawn on DK, giving you lots of ult generation, giving you the more ultimates you spam, the more sustain you get, and having a higher corrosive uptime is all that matters for this build. So we have 2 times Bloodspawn and heavy reinforced with prismatic enchant. Then we have the 1-piece trainee and medium sturdy prismatic enchant on the hands. And front bar we are using Essence Thief. So we have a sturdy shield and we have a Nirnhorn sword. Nirnhorn to boost our weapon damage even further, because we don't need penetration when we have corrosive. So sword and board, Nirn and sturdy, 2 times jewelry with infused weapon damage enchant, and 1 sturdy medium belt, prismatic enchant on top of it. Essence Thief is in general really good set, giving you 2 times stamina, 1 time weapon and spell damage. And when we light attack someone, you will see some green pool spawning. You have to pick it up. You will restore 4k stamina, 5k health, and it will increase your damage by 10% for 10 seconds. Can proc every 10 seconds, so you have a really high uptime on that buff. The backpass set we are running is a defensive set called Direct Trickery, one of the best sets you can run on DK. So we are running here heavy reinforced chest, heavy reinforced feet, and also reinforced legs. All with prismatic enchant, and backbar we are running an infused greatsword of Direct Trickery with the Oblivion enchant. So infused Oblivion enchant will make this glyph proc every 2 seconds, and why that is important I will show you in my at the end of the video, where we'll also talk about the rotation, because using deep slash on stamina DK is different to other builds, right? Your deep slash is not a real spammable, you only use it because there's nothing else to use. And one of the highest damage sources in your build will actually be your Oblivion enchant. So just stay tuned for or keep watching the video so you can see the rotation you're gonna use with that build. Mythic we are running here, marking Ming of Majesty and infused with weapon damage. You have two other choices to run here, which will either be Malakan's Band of Brutality, giving you a more consistent damage, and disables just your crit damage, so but Malakat is really good as well. And the other choice you can choose, either in duels or in solo open world, is Ring of the Pale Order, giving us huge amount of healing when we are offensive. So Pale Order is a good choice as well. That's about the skills. Deep Slash, Reverberating Bash is the stun. This is the spammable, I would say. Cauterize for the healing over time. Every 5 seconds we get a small burst here. You can buff that with Fragmented Shield, which gives you major mending for 8 seconds. And when you reach certain marks on the timestamp of Cauterize, for example the 10 seconds mark, you can recast it and you get 2 heals. You get the 10 seconds heal and you get the initial heal when you actually cast it. So that's how you can shoot your health up quite fast. Resolving Vigor, just the healing over time, the one we rely the most on. Then we have our defensive ult, can either be Temporary Guard for the minor protection, or in open world obviously you're gonna use Spell Wall here. Temporary Guard I only put for dueling, because there you don't actually use defensive ult, and then having passive minor protection is way better. Backbar, Venomous Claw, really strong damage over time. Execute, Noxious Breath, the initial damage is kinda nice, but the dot as well. We get Major Breach. Major Breach when we have Corrosive Up is completely irrelevant, but we won't have Corrosive Up all the time, so having Noxious Breath also for the dot and the initial damage is still nice. Then the Armor Buff, Volatile Armor, damage return. Also, while Volatile Armor is up, you get 12% more healing. Forward Momentum here, for our source of Major Brutality, Minor Endurance, and the snare removal of 4 seconds. You can use Rally if you don't need snare removal, yeah, but lately fighting many Magica DKs, and I just picked Forward Momentum here. Then we have Corrosive Armor, really strong ultimate, reducing all of our damage incoming to 3% of all max health. This won't make you immortal, still. If you have many people on you or someone with lots of damage sources, you can still take huge amount of damage. So don't let your heals run out while you are just in corrosive and think, now I'm immortal, I can go full offensive. But what is this gonna do also, we gotta ignore every physical and spell resistance for all of our direct damage. Sadly it won't affect dots anymore, but all direct damage will ignore the target's physical and spell resist. Champion points are green ones really quick, Gifted Rider, Warmount, Rationer and Steed's Blessing, blue ones Ironclad, Focused Mending, Mastered Arms, Deadly Aim, reds are Pain's Refuge, Sustained by Suffering, Survival Instincts and Fortified. Yeah, that's about the build. So far I really like Stamina DK with Deep Slash. It just feels like the old days, and you can tank a lot on that build, and if you really know how to use the rotation, you also do a lot of damage to people. So yeah, enjoy the build so far. So coming now to the rotation, as I already said, it's a bit different to what you're used to maybe on other classes. Obviously, we want our buffs to stay up, which will be forward momentum and the volatile armor, cauterize, and obviously sometimes we're using fragmented shield for the minor brutality. So on front bar we will have 5000, close to 5500 weapon damage, which is really high usually for a deep slash build. I think the in-game sound might be a little bit too high. I will just reduce it a bit. So, how are you gonna usually start with all your buffs up? First, if you find someone you want to kill in a duel or open world, you first want to stun him with reverberating bash, being able to apply your dots without him doing some counter damage. And every skill you do on stamina DK here on deep slash build, you want to bar swap cancel every skill you do. So you will bar swap a lot, right? You would use your reverb like this, and then you want to instantly bar swap, so it won't even show the animation. So you stun him and you're back on your 2H. What you want to do is you want to Noxious Breath him for the initial damage, which will be quite a lot, and you have the dot running. But also Noxious Breath, you want to bar swap cancel again, and then you want to bash. Bashing we usually do only on our sword and board bar, but also you can bash on 2H. So bar swap cancel our Noxious, right? And it will look like you do the animation on your sword and board, but you have it on your back bar. Like this. And then you want to bash as well. Bar swap, bash. And in that moment, since you don't have anything else to use on your front bar, because obviously he will be CC immune, you just want to weave in Deep Slash. And you also want to cancel Deep Slash again. Then you apply your Venomous Claw again, that you also bar swap cancel. And that's kinda the whole rotation. Obviously you don't want to recast Venomous Claw while it's running, because it will deal increased damage as long as running. So what you do is you will spam a lot of Noxious Breath into bar swap cancelling. Also your armor buff, you're gonna bar swap cancel. Ready or forward momentum, you're also gonna bar swap cancel. You can train that on a dummy pretty well, and the better you are at cancelling it, the faster and the more damage you can actually put out. And that's kind of about the whole build, right? I will maybe do some short cancelling and maybe put it in slow motion, so you can understand better what's going on and how you actually have to use all your skill with the bar swap cancelling.